How are AK-47 bullets made? Workers first place a piece of brass into a vertical stamping machine, pressing it into a thick sheet. Then, using a reverse extrusion process, the sheet is formed into a cartridge case. After filling it with enough black powder and fitting it with an alloy bullet, an AK-47 round is complete. Next, the bullets are sent down the assembly line for final external inspection. Workers pick out the defective products, and the remaining qualified bullets are packed into ammunition boxes and sold by arms dealers to Africa. The bullets are eventually loaded into magazines, and with the pull of a trigger, this bullet's journey from production to being fired into a human brain is all controlled by the man before us. As the world's largest arms dealer, Victor sold a massive amount of Soviet-made weapons in Africa, but he soon caught the attention of international police. One day, while flying on a private military transport plane carrying a large shipment of weapons to Africa, a fighter jet suddenly appeared from the side, demanding that the transport plane land immediately for inspection. Victor hurriedly picked up the phone to call for help, but the fighter jet suddenly attacked from behind and issued a final warning. Knowing that if he was caught, both he and the weapons would be seized, Victor quickly came up with an idea and ordered the pilot to make an emergency landing on the highway. Thanks to the pilot's exceptional skills, they managed to land safely without incident. In order to destroy all the evidence before Interpol arrived, Victor opened the rear hatch of the plane, then picked up an AK-47 and handed it directly to a bystanding local. When the villagers saw that weapons were being given away for free, they rushed over in a frenzy, scrambling to climb onto the plane. In just 10 short minutes, all the guns and ammunition on the plane had been looted clean. By the time Interpol arrived, there wasn't even a scrap left on the plane. A black police officer, furious at the scene, knocked Victor to the ground and held a knife to his throat, but in the end, with no evidence, they could only abandon him in Africa. Victor could only watch helplessly as the local villagers stripped the plane down to its bare frame. Afterwards, Victor was taken away by the local warlord. The warlord had found the informant who betrayed Victor's whereabouts, Victor's biggest rival, who specialized in supplying weapons to the warlord's enemies. The warlord leader shoved a gun into Victor's hand, then gripped his hand and pulled the trigger. This was the first time Victor had killed someone, and he began to realize the brutality of war. Afterwards, the warlord invited him to attend a military parade. What Victor did not expect was that all the soldiers were just a group of underage children. However, the warlord leader told Victor. From this, Victor finally realized that his arms dealing had caused immense harm to African children. After returning to his country, Victor stopped dealing in arms and even funded education in Africa, trying to address the problem of child soldiers. Just as he was preparing to turn over a new leaf, the Liberian warlord came looking for him. He told Victor that the war in Liberia was escalating and he urgently needed a large supply of guns and ammunition, but Victor had already washed his hands of the trade, so he resolutely refused the warlord's request. But the warlord simply pulled out a diamond and pressed it into Victor's hand. Staring at the diamond, which was about the size of an egg, Victor finally gave in and decided to do one last job. But this time, Lady Luck was no longer on his side.